Guys, we are currently breaking down right now off Bitcoin. In today's video, we're going to be having a look at Bitcoin first because Bitcoin is the leader. As you guys can see, we're breaking down Bitcoin currently down 5.5%, which leads to the altcoins bleeding. So if you're going to have a look at, we're going to have a look at Reef and CAG in just a second. But before that, let's dive in on Bitcoin real quick. So this was the start of the triangle, as you guys can see right here. It's actually, the start was actually right here if you count the wicks. So let's bring this down more and have a look, guys. We are actually not breaking down yet. If you don't count the wicks, we are breaking down. But let's have a look at what the potential target can be. If you take this from the start of the triangle and you bring it down at the breakout right here, let's say it's right here the breakout. Our target is actually 23,000. But if you don't count the wicks and you just count the bodies, then we are breaking down. Sorry, and the target would essentially be 28,000. But let's assume that we do count the wicks as a support, so that would be the target. Why 23,000? 23,000 is actually a very, very important level. If we look at the Bitcoin futures chart, CME futures chart right here, 23,000, there is a gap, guys. So if I zoom in real close right here, for you guys who don't know, a gap gets filled approximately 70% of the time, and a gap is when you have like a skip right here, and in the middle you have no trading days. So this was essentially the weekends, and that's why a gap happens. So going back into the regular Bitcoin right here, so this is why if we break down, this could happen. Now let's assume that we did break out right here off the triangle. Let's assume that this is a triangle. You just count the bodies and not the wicks, which a lot of people do that. Let's have a look at what the potential target can be if you guys want to open a short. It would be approximately right here, 26,000. So not too crazy, not too bad. If you guys want, you guys can pull a short now. I wouldn't do it personally. Moving on into actually a few things I want to have a look at is the exponential moving average on the daily time frame. We actually got rejected twice right here. As you guys can see, we had two rejections to the upside, and we essentially closed the last candle at 39,000, 40,000 and got rejected also. We also had some support right here. We do have some support right here. This is resistance, sorry. We do have some slight resistance right here. So we've been actually trending in between that line, as you guys can see. Bounce, 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 bounce. In my opinion, putting a long right here with stop loss below below 35,000 is not a bad idea. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a nice little bounce one more time towards the upside. That being said, we could have a look on the 4-hour time frame as well. We had that nice little ugly we had that nice little ugly candle right here earlier today. It was today. Below the EMA ribbon, nothing too crazy. Having a look at the Bitcoin dominance is actually pretty important as well. We did get a nice rejection right here, and we are still trending below the exponential moving average, as you guys can see on the daily time frame. I'm assuming we are, on the daily time frame we're still coming down below. In my opinion, we're probably going to come down to 39.23 one more time before bouncing back up, or even 34.94. The reason why I say that is, looking at history right here, we saw a nice little bounce at 39.19, and this is the last one. This is the last double bottom that we could actually potentially do in the next couple of weeks at 35.55. Moving on into Reef. Reef is pretty bearish right now. We are actually very well below the moving the support right here, or the resistance. So we had some resistance right here. When was it? This was last week. We attempted last week to make a little, or 2 weeks ago, to make a break to the upside. We failed. If we have a look at the daily time frame right now, we are actually a few times we tried breaking through that zone and failed. We are also below these ribbons right here, which is pretty important, and below the resistance, as you guys can see, this line right here, the green line. So that's pretty bearish. Moving on to the 4-hour time frame as well, below the 4-hour. Below the resistance as well. If we have a look at the moving average, the regular moving average real quick on the 4-hour, we are below the 50 and the 200, which is a pretty big one. If we have a look at Bitcoin, going back into Bitcoin real quick, we actually just broke down right now below the 50, and we have a little death cross right here on the, if I zoom in real quick, we have a nice little death cross right here. So we have the 9 moving average flying or crossing below the 50 moving average, which is pretty bearish in my opinion. We should see a bloody Sunday, but I'm hoping for a nice little bounce back. I won't be taking any trades right now. This is no trade zone, absolutely. This is death right here if you're trying to trade. Going back into Reef, so nothing too crazy right here. We are still trending below, as you guys can see. If we have a look at the shorter moving average, we are also right here, nothing too new. We are actually breaking right here the short-term support right here, if the 1 hour, which will most likely happen, if the 1 hour candle closes below 23 or 2.5 cents, let's say, close below, then in my opinion we should see it go back one more time to this region right here, the 1.8, unfortunately 1.7, 1.7 cents. If we break below that, that's of course is going to depend on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin dumps, the whole market will dump. Moving into CHG real quick, CHG also in my opinion 25 cents is a pretty cheap coin to buy right now. It's on sale. Very very good coin. We have some support right here, some slight support. We do have also at 24 cents. The next one, if Bitcoin dumps to 24,000, I'm assuming that we're probably going to come back and revisit 19 cents, which would be a very very good buy area. Good thing is we saw a nice little rejection right here, or bounce off the 200 moving average. So I wouldn't say we're looking bullish, but we're most likely going to come back and revisit that zone, which was 21 cents. Right here was 19 cents, and now we're probably going to revisit at 21 cents. So a nice little bounce off here would be good. So in my opinion, I wouldn't buy CHG until I see a nice little bounce right here, because we're most likely going to break that support right here. We're most likely going to break it tomorrow or even overnight. That being said, yeah, that's all I have to say, guys. If you guys like this video, of course, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.